Gentlemen, good night, friends and family of the Dear Loving Party. Good night to those of you who could not be here tonight, but who are watching us online throughout the globe. Now, I may sound a little different tonight, and that is because I have been fighting. I have been fighting and fighting and fighting. And the energy that I feel here tonight tells me we are on the road. We are on the road. We are on the road. Tamping down the enemy and moving to victory. This Democratic Labour Party will be the government of Barbados on Friday, the 22nd of February. I feel it. I feel it. I feel it. Tonight, it is my pleasant task to introduce to you the woman, the great woman who stood behind a great man. My colleague, Ronald Jones, who went before me, paid tribute to that great man. And let us not forget his contribution. His contribution was a great contribution to this party. And as we move in to another 5 years of government, we will remember him. But the great woman of St. John, the great woman of St. John, the woman you embraced, the woman you embraced, the woman who stood behind her husband, beside her husband, and then led this party into victory in St. John is here tonight. To carry on the legacy, to carry on the legacy and preach to you the gospel of the Democratic Labour Party. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Mara Thompson.
Because Mara quiet and simple, the beast attacked the lady with the bull. Tried to convince St. John people it's time they'll turn the table. But when the battle over, the legs had paper stun. Who would tell he come up here and run? The female power brought him to his knees. Cause when Mara done, she lay her son to rest like she husband. Mara, Mara, Mara.
Wow. Good evening. Good evening, Barbados. And a special good evening to the people of St. John who are here with me. We gather here on the eve of polling day. Tomorrow, we are being asked to make a choice between Arthur, the ruler, a man who I know cannot get on with women, and Frundle Jerome Stewart, the honest and focused leader. I say from the outset that man to man, Frundle Stewart is a better man. That is why I can say to all of us for love of country, vote Dems tomorrow. But I want to spend a little time reflecting. As you know, my late husband David lived and died for the Democratic Labour Party. I am standing before you representing the constituency and the people of St. John, a place he worked and died for. This is my first speech in Independence Square as a parliamentary representative. And I decided that I would not do this alone. I know that he would very much like victory for this party, victory for his party. And I decided I would ensure that he has the opportunity to tell you, as I have been doing, and to remind you of all the reasons why the people of Barbados voted the Barbados Labour Party out.
Many of you will not remember this, but I am going to remind you tonight that less than a year after Owen Arthur was made Prime Minister of this country, and it shows the extent to which propaganda and public relations and political stunts and smoke and mirrors have been at the center of his approach to politics. He went up to the Barbados Workers' Union annual conference 1 year after being elected and said that he had created 10,000 jobs in Barbados in 1 year. And you remember what happened thereafter? He had to apologize and say he made an error. It was only 2,700. And that is where it started. Were it not for the vigilance of the Democratic Labour Party, it pointed out to him that he had not only misinterpreted the figures, but he had purposely misinterpreted them to put lies before the public of Barbados, he would not have relented. And that is why I'm saying to you tonight that the same people who are talking about Errol Barrow, the question has to be asked, did they share the same dream and vision of enabling and empowering more Barbadians? And these are the questions that you must ask and answer as you contemplate the future in Barbados. No, Errol Barrow would ignore the plight of the elderly and those who depend on public medical services like the Queen Elizabeth Hospital. And you would have heard from Richard tonight on that. He was a man of the conviction that a healthy nation is a wealthy nation. And that is why the system of politics was expanded. And during his terms of office, the Queen Elizabeth Hospital was the premier health institution in the entire Caribbean.
Team DLP working for you. Stay focused. Stay safe. Stay with the Democratic Labour Party.
I say tonight that Owen Arthur is very bad for Barbados. And Frundle Stewart is good for Barbados. Owen Arthur came to St. John and decided that it was his duty to launch a personal and nasty attack on me. It was a nasty, unprovoked attack on myself and my family. I have said nothing about Arthur and his family that warrant this bashing. And the puzzling thing about his attitude towards women is that he has a wife and a daughter. But I will leave that there. I say tonight to all within earshot, reflect upon whether you want a ruler or a leader. The Barbados Labour Party has already issued the edict that anyone appointed after 2008 will be fired. That is their first manifesto promise. Think, Barbados. Nothing has changed on the other side. All the reasons we voted the Barbados Labour Party out are still with us. I have spoken to the matter of the comments made by Noah Lynch at the dawn of this campaign and expressed my regret at the attack on my deceased husband. Noah Lynch decided to have a peep into hell through some crystal ball and was able to make some assertions about my late husband. And I asked myself as I replayed the comments in my head, do I really need to be a parliamentary representative to have to subject myself to this? Should I not focus on ensuring that my family is secured and that my daughters are cared for? I have seen many battles fought by DLP stalwarts, and I have attended many funerals. So I know that all journeys come to an end. This journey, however, for me has begun. I now know my mission in this journey is not only to defend the good name of my family and my late husband, but to keep the Barbados Labour Party in opposition. And I say to you tonight, this country should not make the mistake and drop the ball by giving Arthur the opportunity to return with the poisoned arrow that came to contaminate the office of Prime Minister. I know what my late husband came and found and what he wanted to see change. We left behind in 2008 a country whose citizens were cursed from the floor of Parliament and who continued to be abused from the platforms of the DLP. We left behind the notions and insults of terms such as Negrocrats, indentured servants, Poreki Parliament, and even worse. I have only too many first-hand experiences of the arrogance of the man. This country does not need that kind of recklessness and lawlessness. Think, Barbados. It is not time for recklessness and lawlessness. We need steady and focused leadership to steer this ship, and I say tonight, Captain Stewart is the best man. This country has witnessed and experienced a renewed focus on people. Since coming to office, it has been about people, not power. Our party has been found guilty by the Barbados Labour Party of constructing affordable houses. According to the Barbados Labour Party's smear campaign, these new houses have been described as foul hoops. Once again seeking to insult persons who have finally been allowed access to low-income housing and affordable housing after 14 years of no relief. Yes, the Barbados Labour Party is angry with the Democratic Labour Party for constructing houses and providing homes for families. The Barbados Labour Party is angry at us because we have constructed schools across this country and upgraded school plants. The Barbados Labour Party is angry because we have implemented traffic solutions, built roundabouts or oblongabouts, and repaired hundreds of roads across the length and breadth of Barbados. The Barbados Labour Party is angry because we have brought relief to health care and we have improved the quality of care of our management of the health sector. Think, Barbados. You have a Barbados that you know now. You have a Barbados where civil servants don't fear answering the telephone at night in total fear of being abused by a politician who wants access to a favor or influence some change of policy. The Democratic Labour Party deserves a second chance. If my late husband were here, he would be telling you and asking you to give the Democratic Labour Party a second chance. The choice of Frondell Stewart as leader was done within all boundaries and decency of politics. Let us cherish the David Thompson memory by voting for Frondell Stewart and our team and carrying on with the job. On the other hand, Arthur's kidnapping of the leadership and public humiliation of his former leader, Mia Mottley, should tell you that a campaign of deception was unleashed with the unholy marriage and immediate divorce. This country must not allow the Barbados Labour Party to revisit the halls of Parliament. That gives them direct access to our tax purse. They say they want to put money in the pockets of people, but what they did not tell you is that the money will be going into their pockets. The only people who benefit from the Barbados Labour Party in office are the same members of the political class and their operatives. They want access to power. For us on this side, it's about people, not power. Think, Barbados. I want to leave this stage by reminding you, the voters of Barbados, do not spoil Barbados. We will continue to put people at the center of our development. I ask you to remember the words of my late husband. Wrap yourselves in the colors of the flag. Let us tomorrow go out in our numbers and ensure that we stay loyal to Barbados. Barbados, I close by asking you, for love of country, to vote for the Democratic Labour Party candidate of choice. Vote Dems, Dems now, Dems again. Good night and thank you.